locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a boss.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Well, how about that one, huh? What do you think about that?
1 week off and your impressions have gone back to zero, square one.
Listen, man, with Sasha Banks winning the Women's Championship once again, you know I got to do a Sasha Banks impersonation.
First of all, the idea of you being anybody's boss is a horrifying image. Because could you imagine people having to listen to you all day?
Look, I got a whole stream of current and former employees who would disagree with you there, Jack.
Yeah, I look forward for them to comment.
And listen, I cleared this with Caitlin, a.k.a. Sasha Banks' favorite fan. I asked her if it's okay if I do the I'm a boss.
Right.
And she gave me a thumbs up.
Yeah, but here's my question. Did you do the impression for her, or did you just say, I'm going to do the impression? Because I feel like if she heard it, she mightn't have given the blessing.
I said I was going to do it.
Yeah, all right.
You know,
okay.
Well, you know what, Caitlin, who's newly married, by the way. Remember, she's the one who went out with the at her wedding reception.
Oh, yeah.
She came out dancing to the Sasha Banks music.
She did the full boat.
The full boat there. Caitlin, if you don't like the impersonation, I'll do it again. Don't worry.
No, please. Just tell him you like it. Make it stop.
Oh, please.
Please make it stop.
Listen, welcome back to Duke Loves Wrestling, everyone. I am the Duke. And yes, I do enjoy doing pro wrestling impersonations, and I'm going to keep on doing them no matter what my illustrious co-host, the Boston Bad Boy, says.
Yeah, well, I'm going to keep you in line.
Oh, well, I don't know, man. You're going to have a tough time since I'm the boss.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
Hey, listen, did you see this? Linda McMahon.
Oh,
this is breaking news here that came out yesterday. Linda McMahon officially nominated for the administrator of the Small Business Administration in the Trump administration.
Yeah. So let's go back, to weeks ago when a young fellow with a tear in his eye from the mean streets named Iron Mike Pelosi told you and everybody that this whole circus of a presidential election cycle and the election of Donald Trump to the presidency was a fully manufactured exponent of the World Wrestling Entertainment. And it was coordinated by Vince McMahon and company.
Well, you know what?
And now look what happens.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. You've worked in politics. When somebody does you a favor in politics, what do? Usually there's a favor that comes back. Maybe you appoint them somewhere. Maybe you appoint them as a small business administrator.
Yeah, which is a big deal. That's a big... Listen, she's going to be in charge of the economic growth of the entire country, focusing primarily on small businesses, which you already know you're going to have to invest in small businesses to bring the economy up. So it's really a win-win situation for Linda McMahon and for the country in general because she knows what she's doing.
Well, if you happen to agree with Republican economic policy, I suppose. However, there is proof in the pudding of the WWE growing from a small company to a large company.
Yeah, how many employees did they start off with?
I think something, well, it's funny because Trump has a quote here, and I'm trying to find it here. Oh, here it is. So here's Trump's quote on the appointment. Trump says, quote, Linda has a tremendous background and is widely recognized as one of the country's top female executives advising businesses around the globe. He went on to further say she helped grow WWE from a modest 13-person operation to a publicly traded global enterprise with more than 800 employees in offices worldwide. It's you. No, I'm adding the huge part on the end.
Here we
go. That's what he said.
Just read it. You had to try to get an impersonation.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit better than your.
But you talk about me,
yeah,
right?
Well, at least I sound like him a little bit.
Give me a break.
At least I'm putting some effort into it.
But how about that though? She grew the company from something so modest and just a small family business. So hey.
Now listen, it's funny. I think that you can disagree. I think the biggest sticking point between if you want to call it left and right, economics, right? That has always been a milestone of all right. This side thinks this is the right plan, and this side, and somewhere in the middle, probably is the truth.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is that you may disagree with Linda McMahon on maybe her economic or whatever, but she's not completely insane.
No,
like a lot of other people whose names have been bandied about in this new administration. So that's actually kind of comforting.
Well,
that in a place where it could really count, maybe you got somebody who really knows what they're doing.
And think about this: she actually is appointed into something that she actually has experience in, and she knows what she's doing. This isn't a Ben Carson situation.
This isn't right. Who's going to it's like, housing and urban development.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so what we're going to do is build giant pyramids full of grain for everybody.
Yeah,
and then
give me a break.
Yeah, I mean the guy has to wake up first.
Seriously,
he's always asleep.
Always.
I don't understand it. I think it'll be funny though. I mean, think of the endless source of comedy. I fully believe that this country there is a majority of people from all sides that, in the end of the day, will help somebody out of the gutter if they have to, or if given the opportunity, so that we will hit a point where the circus has gone too far.
That's enough of this,
and we're pretty resilient. We're a big country. There's a lot of moving parts. It's hard for somebody to completely wipe the whole thing clean.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. So,
right.
Yeah.
So let's stay on that trajectory. It doesn't happen, but I think that Linda McMahon is. Here's the funny thing: we're now in a world where where appointing the head of World Wrestling Entertainment to a presidential pick is the most normal thing that's going on.
Can you imagine that?
It's the most level-headed thing that could happen.
Like, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
That's it. See?
Now, remember how back in the day, like Arnold Schwarzenegger was the head of
the governor.
Well, before he was the governor, but he was appointed like head of youth physical fitness and whatever. Mm-hmm. Does that mean we're going to get a steady stream of guys, coming from WWE to be like the new?
It's very possible. I mean, if Linda's there, then that opens up the floodgates. Yeah, man. What's Vince going to get?
Oh boy,
chairman of sports entertainment.
No, I think Vince stays in the. Vince will be the Dick Cheney of this administration, behind the scenes, pulling the strings. He's the Dr. Evil. He's going to have a chair with buttons that he can spin the chair left. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine? Well, hey, here's a tip for everybody out there: buy World Wrestling Entertainment stock. Hurry up.
Yeah, well, that might be. Yeah, well, it'd be interesting. Let me go on the computer here because we were talking about that earlier today.
Yes,
stocks and bonds. So let's see here. One day, so WWE was trading at where the hell was it here? Did it say 22 cents a share? Is that possible? Oh no, Wavefront Technology. What are they under World Wrestling?
Yeah, they're under World Wrestling Entertainment Inc., I believe.
Let's see.
But, folks, you definitely need to start purchasing some WWE stock.
Here we go. So, today, the stock opened this morning at $18.90 a share. $18.90 a share.
Which is actually up.
Which is up.
Yep.
It closed it hit a peak of 1942 today.
Wow!
So I don't know what time the news was announced, but there is a sizable bump here.
Yep.
And in after-hours trading, it got up to 1975.
Well,
so it's on the way.
This is a high for at least the past 3 years, I believe.
Yeah,
too.
if I look at let's look at a 5-year.
Because they were trading at
they peaked really big here. They hit like $30 a share in 2014.
Yep.
And then it kind of dropped off a little bit, but it's creeping
going
back up.
Because I think they got down to about 15, 16 at one point.
Yeah, so I think that they're. I know we've taken a turn into where it's like hardball with Chris Matthews.
I know, right?
Now, talking about stock
talking
prices.
about stocks.
Now, who's that crazy guy that always hit the things and he got drummed out?
CNBC or something
that
like
crazy
that.
guy with the goatee.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. We should have him on and yell at
us.
us.
Well, he's a wrestling fan, He's always talking about.
Look at his show. Of course, he's a wrestling fan.
He
has a giant mallet that he hits a red button with when he says, "Don't buy this stock." So that's just good news for them.
Absolutely.
It's
a great time to be a wrestling fan and a great time to be in the wrestling business.
I have to think, though, that even Vince and his wife, when they were dealing with Trump back in the day when they needed some cash to grow, even they, in their wildest dreams, could never imagine this person
was going to be the president
of the United States.
And the most powerful person in the world.
Right.
As a result of being the president.
Right. I think Trump's head might explode, like in scanners. I think when it actually is official, because right now it's still very nebulous.
That's
right.
Right
so, but when you have to, and Obama goes, "All right, see ya."
Yep.
They come off the dais and the Bible and the swearing in. All right, ciao. And, okay.
What do I do now? It's not, we're live?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Listen, all right, folks. enough of that talk there. Let's talk about what's going on the show today. Of course, we're going to have more of your listener-submitted questions, a.k.a. Ask Duke. We'll run the ropes. And we also have the return of Dusty Wolfe. That's right, he's back. He's going to be talking about his great book, his thoughts on the wrestling business today, and who knows what else. But before we get into any of that, I want to thank you. That's right, you, the loyal listeners of Duke Loves Rasslin'. Thanks for tuning in on iTunes and all your other podcast apps. Thanks for sending me messages on Twitter and Facebook, even though sometimes you don't agree with me, which I don't appreciate.
Well, maybe if you showed up for the show most. I remember 2 weeks ago, Thanksgiving, we couldn't find you. I had to call you.
Listen,
and
I was doing holiday shopping last week, too.
Yeah, and last week, holiday shop, you had to get all those deals.
Yeah, hey, I made out.
When you make a commitment to the people, you got to do it.
You got to keep them wanting more.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
keep them wanting more.
Address all your angry notes to Duke at.
Listen, head over to the YouTube channel. You can hear all of our archived episodes and what have you. You can hit me up on Twitter and Facebook at Duke Loves Wrestling. Keep sending your support, and we'll keep bringing you top-notch pro wrestling audio. Enjoy. It's time to run the ropes. I give my opinion on the top 5 stories in the world of professional wrestling. Let's go. Billy Corgan and TNA settle out of court. Yes, folks, according to Pro Wrestling Sheet, quote, Billy Corgan has officially been deleted from TNA. This is because Anthem Sports, acting on behalf of TNA, paid Corgan a lucrative settlement to go away. Now, this means Corgan will no longer pursue further compensation or damages from TNA. Now, look, this whole deal has been a complete mess, and frankly, I'm glad the Corgan saga is over. All right? Hopefully, Anthem Sports can do something productive with TNA, especially because they have such great folks on their roster like Sienna, a.k.a. Allison Kay, who I'm very afraid of. So shout out to Sienna. I'm giving you a shout out because I don't want you to beat me up there. But that tape library is so amazing. Hopefully they can do something worthy with it. We'll have to stay tuned and see what happens there.
I hope she beats you up.
Oh. Crowbar Championship Wrestling. Yes, folks, you're hearing it here first. Steve, do it to it, Cox, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
He started a new promotion. All right? Listen to this. It's entitled Crowbar Championship Wrestling.
I like it.
I've never even heard of anything like that before. But, hey, Steve did it. Now, they got a huge show coming up on January 7th at the Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton, Oklahoma. Say that 3 times fast. All right? You'll get to see stars like Rodney Mack, a.k.a. Red Dog. Remember that guy? Moonshine Mantell. Listen, Moonshine Mantell. Everybody keeps talking about you. You're one of the hottest guys on the indie scene. I'm challenging you, sir. Come on, Duke Loves Wrestling. Let's talk about how you're tearing it up out there, because word on the street is you're the guy to watch, okay? But they also have the return of the Love Machine, Chaz Taylor. Huh, boy. Head over to CCW Entertainment on Facebook for more info. Johnny Mundo is champion again. You heard that right. According to ProWrestling.net, the guy formerly known as John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, he defeated Sexy Star for the Lucha Underground Heavyweight Championship. Now, mind you, Sexy Star is a female wrestler, and a damn good one, by the way. But this was absolutely an intergender match, and it was awesome. Now, some folks love it. Some folks hate it. I'm a little undecided on the whole women versus men matches there, but if anyone can do it, Sexy Star certainly can do it, and I'm sure that she will get a rematch and destroy that Johnny Mundo. We'll have to stay tuned and find out there.
I got a question.
What's that?
Does the WWE ever move in that direction?
They do intergender matches but most of the time, the women fight the women and the men fight the men. So
during
it's like
the match,
yeah,
right.
It's like a tag team.
I'm talking woman versus man.
It doesn't happen
ever. What else can be done? You've brought women into the sport.
True.
You can't keep it segregated.
Well, you couldn't. You shouldn't, but they do.
Do it by weight class.
Well, it's the whole domestic violence stuff and all that.
Yes, but it's sport.
It is sport. Like somebody like Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Can you imagine her taking on John Cena?
No, I'm talking. You got to match people the same way you would match male on male and woman on woman.
No, she would kick John Cena's face in. I mean, come on.
Well,
we
listen.
want to protect John Cena by not allowing Sasha Banks to destroy
That's
his
right.
Rudy
To me,
Poo,
there you
Fruity
go.
Pebbles butt.
You landed the
That
hail on
punk John
the,
Cena.
The men
Yeah.
are too afraid that they're going to get their asses
That's
handed to
right.
them.
That's a fact. James Ellsworth turns on Dean Ambrose. That's right, folks. According to Lavelle Porter and WrestleZone.com, James Ellsworth pushed Dean Ambrose off of a ladder at the TLC pay-per-view, which assisted AJ Styles in retaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, look, that no-good punk Ellsworth, he knows I've been running him down for weeks. I guess he got sick and tired of me going off on him, so finally he did something that made sense. He turned on that other no-good punk, that no-good punk, Dean Ambrose, which I appreciate. Now, look, Ambrose, he's not happy with Ellsworth right now, which, for obvious reasons there. Ellsworth says he only did it because he has another match with AJ coming up, and since he's beaten him a couple times, he feels that it's easier to take on AJ Styles and win the championship than to take on Dean Ambrose. Obviously, this Ellsworth, he's been dropped on his head a few too many times there. As JBL says, he's a guy that looks like a turtle without a shell because he's missing a chin. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this story, but I'm telling you, folks, stay tuned because it's still developing. Sasha Banks. She's champion again. And the Boston bad boy can sit there and eat crow because as seen on Monday Night Raw last week, Sasha Banks defeated Charlotte in a Falls Count Anywhere no-holds-barred match to become a 3-time WWE Raw Women's Champion. Okay? Now, look, this even took place in Charlotte's hometown of North Carolina. And get this, Ric Flair came out and held up Sasha Banks' hand at the end of the night.
Wow.
And that's Charlotte's dad, by the way.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, Charlotte slapped the taste out of Ric Flair's mouth this week.
Well, that's my question. Did he turn heel on his own daughter?
Well, his own daughter turned heel on him a couple of months ago, so I guess that was payback. But
There you
then
go.
Charlotte just slapped the taste.
I
out
love
of
the
Ric's
idea that
mouth.
maybe Rick wasn't even invited. He just showed up.
He just showed up. I mean, well, it was Ric Flair country in
That's right.
North Carolina.
That's right.
So now what's going to happen next here? We have Sasha and Charlotte. They're on a collision course. They're going to have an Iron Woman match to once and for all determine who the best is. And by the way, Nia Jax, listen to me. You've been running your big mouth on Twitter, talking trash about the boss, Sasha Banks. I'm telling you right now, Nia Jax, you watch your back, Jack, because the boss is coming for you next. You heard what I think. What do you think? Head over to Facebook, head over to Twitter, type in Duke Loves Rasslin. Do you think I'm a jerk? Do you agree with me? Hey, let me know. Up next, we got him back here. A very laid-back, easygoing conversation with the professor, Dusty Wolfe.
This is Rudy Boy Gonzalez of the Texas Wrestle Academy, and you're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin. I'm sitting there with Layfield and Murdoch and James Beard. And we're sitting there, and he comes in, he puts his bag down, he puts his trash can in the corner where he always had him. That was his spit-in with the trash can. And he's in the corner. And as he's sitting in the corner, he puts that chicken on the top of his bag, and he says, "Oh, boys, just got back from the barbecue. I got to fight Akbar. Help yourself." So, okay. And we got into that bag, and we left him a wing. And he came back, and he's like, "My God, you ate my supper. You ate all my goddamn food. I was just being polite."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so Murdoch looked at me and he says, "Well, we saved him, bub. I mean, it was kind of dry. Who barbecued that?" Then he really went nuts because I did all the cooking. And what do you mean it was dry? That was the greatest shit. Well, how would you know, Bart? There's only a wing left. Oh, he went nuts. He went back and told Akbar he didn't want to speak to any of us again. And it was, yeah. But Bart was good. Bart was the easiest guy in the world to rib.
Now you talk about Black Bart, right?
Yeah, Black Bart.
Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
He's a living, breathing Yosemite Sound.
and
gold.
Black Bart was a guy who wrestled all over the place. I mean, he was a hell of a hand. He was a guy that
one of the best.
Every federation wanted to put in there to help train their stars up.
Oh, no doubt.
Wow,
No doubt.
wow. Which is really exactly who you were as well. So it's interesting to hear you guys getting along in that manner there.
Bart's a sweetheart. There's no two ways about it. But like I say, it didn't take much to wind him up. He was like the easiest victim of all kinds of stuff. It really was.
Wow.
Like tonight, I had him convinced that Hillary Clinton and Barbara Mandrell were in a lesbian relationship.
Oh, Lord.
Because he would sit there, he would dip that stuff, drink his beer. We watching her on TV, Barbara Mandrell. She's got a voice like an angel, doesn't she? Yes, she does, Bart. And we got to go to the town, Bart. She's not done singing yet. All right, Bart. And so one night we were in Oklahoma somewhere. We were working for Crockett, and I had him convinced that she was been found in a compromising position with Hillary Clinton.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I thought he was going to kill me and Murdoch.
And he's a big dude, too, man.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's a big man. Thankfully, I outrun him. I had to outrun him a few nights.
Now, wait.
There's no other way around it.
Wait a second. Since we're talking about ribs and funny business here, I got to ask you this question. What is this I hear about Rudy Boy Gonzalez being the Greco-Roman naked wrestling champion?
Naked-Greco Roman champion. Yeah, it took place this here in San Antonio. One night, it was me, him, Ken Johnson, and Taurus Bulba, the one that was in world class.
Oh, what a group.
Yeah, and why we decided to get drunk is not the point part. We just ended up drunk. And Rudy went to play something on the jukebox, and I said, no, and I grabbed him, and his shirt ripped. And what inspired me to start a wrestling, amateur wrestling match from there, I don't know. But then Ken would get into it. Before it was over, the only one that was dressed was Taurus.
Oh.
And we just ripped our clothes off, yeah. And waist up, had to be Greco-Roman, waist up, because we weren't wearing anything. And from the Taurus and his drunk, he couldn't get into it, so we just stripped him so he wouldn't feel like he's being left out. I don't know how we didn't go to jail that night.
So
because we were able to tie stuff around us. We knew the owner. I think that's the only thing that kept us out of jail that night. Truthfully.
What were you guys drinking? What were you guys drinking that night?
Whatever they were pouring, basically. I mean, we were pretty much drinking the pitcher specials, whatever was on sale that night.
Oh, my God. Listen, we are on the line with pro wrestling journeyman, adjunct college professor, a naked Greco-Roman wrestler, and lover
I won the
of fine
tournament
women.
that night, too.
Yeah, I bet you did. I did. This is Dusty Wolfe on the line with us here. Hey, Dusty, did I shine you up enough that time?
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, see that? Now, listen, you got that fantastic book, The Wrestling Journeyman, Life and Times of Indie Wrestler.
Right.
Which, you really took the gloves off and were honest about your entire career.
Yeah, it was... I don't know. It just felt right. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you didn't mince any words. Listen, what's your deal with Eric Embry? This is a blasphemer class name. Eric Embry was hot as fire, especially in the Memphis and Texas and all over the place there.
I didn't know I had to deal with him until years later, truthfully. Well, I mean, I knew he was mad at me for leaving San Antonio with Ken Timms to go to Memphis back in '84. And he tried to screw us then. And it didn't work because it was just so blatantly obvious. And I figured it was all over then. And after that, whenever he shows up in Puerto Rico, everybody was treating me well. Then all of a sudden, they treated me like I got the plague. And then like in Dallas, nobody would talk to me in Dallas whenever they needed help. They needed somebody to come in there, and they didn't have to be me, but they wouldn't even talk to me. And it was basically he got mad back in the summer of '84 about Ken Timms leaving and me going with him to form the Blondes out in Memphis, and he did whatever he could to cut my throat wherever he could from that point forward.
Wow, that's something else. You mentioned Memphis. Was Jerry was running that territory at the time you were down there, right?
Yeah, he was actually booking it when I was there.
He was booking it. You got a good Jerry Jarrett impersonation. I know you do.
Not really. I mean, except for whenever that one time it is, I could do this thing where, like, you talking about what Christine got on him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're in Louisville. We had been here like 3 weeks. I still say that this and the fact that I told Lawler off the next day, is the reason we got fired. I swear to God it is. But anyway, I'm standing there and I'm talking to Phil Hickerson or somebody like that, trying to figure. Kenny, one of the guys that was a regular, trying to get a feel for the territory. I'd been there a couple of weeks. Mama Christine, who I thought the world of. We didn't get along great, but she was a tough little broad. And then she ran that place with a fire and fist.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her. Even though she didn't particularly care for me. Anyway, we're standing there talking, and Mama Christine comes up and she tells Jerry, I've got the news station out there at ringside to do an interview, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Mama, I'm putting finishes together, and I don't have time, Mama. And she's like, Jerry.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it was like four syllables for Jerry. I can't even do it justice. And she's like, you will go out there and do that interview. It's good for business. Oh, Mama. When, this man's like about 50 at the time, said that, I started laughing. And part of the reason I laughed is I could sympathize. I had a real strong mother that was, you're going to do, well, wait a minute, Mama. I had that too, so I could sympathize. But I had just never heard a 50-year-old man worth a few million go, oh, Mama. And I swear to God, the next day I told Jerry Lawler off, and the following Monday they asked us not to leave. They handed us a check that I'm like, if you keep paying me like this, I'm not leaving anyway. But, if our business is down, don't leave. Okay. And, I take it back. It was the Monday. That was Tuesday in Louisville, so it was the night before they had said, please don't leave. And then the Tuesday in Louisville is when I laughed at him. Wednesday at the hotel in Louisville is when I told Lawler off. The following Monday, we got our notice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And folks, he's talking about the legendary booker Jerry Jarrett, who is the father of Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. Jerry Jarrett, he took care. He kept his word to us. He's one of the few that kept his word to me in my career.
Yeah.
And he did. I'll say that to anybody. He kept his word.
Yeah, Jerry's a character.
Mm-hmm.
You know who has a heck of a Jerry Jarrett impersonation is Bruce Prichard.
I can imagine because he was up under him a lot.
Yeah. Bruce Prichard always, he
had that twang. I can't do it. No matter how hard I try. But the old Mama, 30-something years later, I haven't ever forgotten it.
That's amazing. Listen, speaking of Bruce Prichard, he's had like a resurgence. He has his show on MLW Radio with Conrad Thompson there. Yeah. Do you got any good Bruce Prichard who was once Brother Love? You got any Bruce Prichard stories there?
Yeah, I got one.
Uh-oh.
It's not that great, but it's funny. Dusty Rhodes had just come in to the New York office. They were riding together, and Dusty got a George Jones tape from me. And on there was a song that was called The King is gone and so are you, yabba dabba doo.
Uh-oh.
And George Jones sings about getting so drunk he has a talk with Elvis or Fred Flintstone. And the chorus is yabba dabba doo, the king is gone and so are you. Well, Dusty wanted that tape, so I loaned it to him. They come into it was White Plains, I'll never forget. They come into White Plains, and Bruce is like, if I ever hear George Jones again, I will kill both of you. The man sings yabba dabba doo, and then Dusty comes in singing it, and I'm like, did pretty good, wasn't it, Dream? It was beautiful, baby. And Bruce was like, I don't want to speak to either one of you. He went, took off. I don't know where he went. Didn't see him for the rest of the evening. He was so mad over that tape.
Yeah, Prichard's a character, man. Prichard is a character.
I never had cross wheels with Bruce Prichard. Bruce was always real straight with me. I mean, as far as I know. I've never ever, all these years later, it wouldn't matter anyway, but when I was there, I never had anybody ever say anything to me about, oh, no, that's not what was said, or no, don't believe that, or anything like that.
Now, for folks who don't know, Bruce Prichard, he played the Brother Love character in the WWF. Now we all call it WWE. But he also was one of the main executives in the company backstage. I mean, he handled everything, basically, right?
Yeah, he was like the man for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. He tells a good story, too. A lot of institutional knowledge and what have you.
Oh, my God. He was involved with everything.
He was.
If he doesn't know what happened, nobody does.
Absolutely. Listen, we're speaking about your time in the WWF back in the day. I mean, you were there with really when Hulkamania was running wild and all that good stuff
I did
there.
right at the peak when I first went in. Yeah, I went in right after WrestleMania 3.
Do you remember the movie No Holds Barred?
That movie made me some money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did you make some money off of that movie?
Carrying Zeus around for a year.
Oh, Zeus. Remember that guy, Zeus? He was huge, jacked up. He played the character that Hogan fought in that movie.
I think I saw that movie at the drive-in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a drive-in in Danvers that used to be where the mall is now, and I believe there was a double feature with that movie. And I'm trying to think of there was some other ridiculous movie that had no business being with No Holds Barred. But I remember being sort of terrified. Scared.
Zeus.
That whole end. Yeah, Zeus was scary.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he gets thrown down through the thing, and
Yeah. Well, you guys know that was the number 1 movie in the country for 1 week.
Absolutely.
No kidding.
Absolutely, it was.
Yeah. And then the very next week, Batman came out.
Oh,
That's right.
Well, Michael Keaton. Yeah, so that must have been 1990 then.
89.
89. Good call. Good.
Yeah, actually, it might have been a double feature with No Holds Barred and Beetlejuice, because I think Beetlejuice came out that same year,
around
too.
that same year.
So
Yeah.
talk about
It was like 88 or something.
Yeah.
Talk about a crazy double feature.
Blast from the past. Now, listen, you said that you wrote it because I know Zeus had an angle where he did some wrestling and what have you. They tried to. Tiny Lister is the man's name. He's known for being in the Friday series with Ice Cube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
He's the president of the universes, or all of the planets, and that Spank the Monkey movie with Bruce Prichard. Not Bruce Prichard. We just said Bruce Prichard. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yes.
Where they go all the different planets and all that other.
Yeah.
And they wash him down. Oh, yeah, he's the president of the universe in that one. And
Now, you rode around with him, though, when he had his brief stint in the WWF.
I took him around. You can't take somebody that's never seen the wrestling business and all of a sudden throw them into the wrestling business and expect them to survive. Especially something like Vince, where we would start on day 1 in Miami, and day 14 we'd be in Portland, Oregon, or Nova Scotia or something like that.
Yeah, the travel's real tough.
Yeah, and if you've never seen it or done it, so I got paid every day that there was to make sure he got around.
Now, who made that determination to put you with a guy like Zeus and basically take care of him? Terry Garvin. Got it. Terry Garvin set that up. Yeah. Any good Zeus stories there? Because I'm sure a tiny listener will be listening to this. Any good stories?
Well, there was one time that it's in my book where I invited him to go outside because I had just gotten so frustrated I was ready to fight. And I got to the front door, and I'm like, thank God that big son of a bitch didn't get up from the table.
He would have killed you.
Yeah, he would have get up. I'm going to have to explain why I'm in the hospital. So thank God. And he sat down, and we never had another crossword after that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he did you a
later
favor.
That night, I got us kicked out of Newfoundland.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
What happened there?
We were driving back from whatever. I got my child and Rudy's child both in here right now.
Oh, nice. Tag team.
Yeah.
Tag team.
Yeah, they're kids. Oh, yeah, these two. And so anyway, we're coming back from whatever town is back. I don't remember the towns anymore or direction. I just know we were from one end of the island to the other. And as we're coming back, as we're headed back, my son's mad because I'm not doing something right. And we're headed back, and we literally get behind a logging truck doing about 42 miles an hour downhill and about 15 uphill.
Whoa.
So the first chance I get, I pass it. And it's on a 2-lane road, Newfoundland, late 80s. So it's dark. There's not much going on. And as soon as I hit the lane to get back where I'm supposed to, the lights come on behind me.
Oh.
And a real Mountie come up on me out of the car, wants to know what I was doing and why. And then all of a sudden he realizes he's got a Texas driver's license in his hand. And I'm driving this car with the Newfoundland plates in it. And our conversation basically ended where he didn't give me a ticket or anything. He just told me to get off his island and stay off his island before I killed somebody. And Zeus just stared at me. I've been stopping my day, but I've never been told I had to leave an island. Well, that was a new one for me, too. So.
And you never went back, I hope.
I had never been back.
Yeah.
I didn't know if this guy remembered or not.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, we're talking to Dusty Wolfe here, the professor, and it sounds like he has a wrestling match going on with the kids in the background.
He wants to put his Batman outfit on so he can watch a TV show, and I'm not doing it right. I've hung his toe.
Listen, if you don't know how to put on a gimmick outfit, then who does there, right?
Well, yeah, that's what you would think, but then again, he's related to his mother, too.
Oh, you're going to get us in trouble with Brandy. Listen, since we're talking about guys who were not from the business and then broke in and what have you, what's your impression of Goldberg?
He has no talent.
Oh.
Let's just be honest. The whole thing was the streak. That was the whole thing. Once the streak was over, there was nothing left.
So the idea behind it is that you guys really protected him in those matches, huh?
Everybody protected him. I never actually had to work with him.
Oh, okay.
I was one of the guys I never crossed paths with in the ring. But everybody that worked with him protected him at one level or another. The office took care of him. Like I said, the whole thing about him was the streak, and like any other monster, I don't care if it's in a movie, I don't care if it's in the wrestling business, TV show, a book. Once you turn the monster you destroyed the monster, you destroyed the image, you're done.
Yeah, and you know, they really destroyed that a little prematurely there when he finally lost.
You know, the other thing is you can say that there's a little prematurely, but where does he have to go? What kind of new faces can you bring in? It wasn't like the old days where you could keep him going for a year longer or 2 years longer because you could keep bringing people in that were fresh and new. There's nobody left.
Yeah, he beat everybody.
He
beat everybody. Now listen,
I don't know if it's premature or not, but it was just the old we're gonna make money. Anyway, back to Goldberg. You know, the whole streak idea, it proved that wrestling could still be done. But the man absolutely had no talent, and then when he went to Vince for that year, and Vince tried to push him, it became obvious that he had no talent.
Now, so what's your take on the business that they're doing with Brock Lesnar and Goldberg now? I mean, Goldberg.
I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
I get the idea of that what they did that night at the pay-per-view. Makes perfect sense. It's about the only booking you can do. It leaves everything wide open. You haven't exposed Goldberg again. None of that. 15 years later, I'm just trying to figure out why Goldberg.
Because instead of a young guy, right?
I mean, it could even be a guy that age if he was still in shape. But once you have to get Goldberg past about the 4-minute mark, 3-minute mark, you're going to expose him as talentless.
Wow.
And you know, and I praise him for one thing. You know, to have that little of talent, be that talentless, and make the amount of money he made in the wrestling business.
Not mincing words.
Great.
Not mincing words one bit. Listen, you brought up the fact that you have Rudy's little one in there with you there too, with your little one. Let me ask you a question. Since you just went in on Goldberg there, I'm gonna swing you to the other side for a second here. What is your relationship, your friendship with Rudy Boy Gonzalez? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Especially when you've known somebody as long as we've known each other. You know, you still pick up the phone and, hey, yeah, I'm here. What you need? You know, that means a lot. I'm not an overly effusive person when it comes to emotions. But that's, you know, you have a friend that you've had for 35 years. That means it's a big deal.
Wow, it's been that long, huh?
It has to be because he lies. He's a year older than I am. And I know how old I was when we met, so.
Yeah, because you broke into business about a year or two before he did, right?
About a year.
Yeah.
Roughly a year,
Yeah, that's a trip. Yeah, he speaks so highly of you, and it's interesting to hear you guys.
He's a good man. He's like all the rest of us. He's got he'll aggravate some people now and then, but at the end of the day, he's a good man.
Yeah, no, we got a ton of respect for Rudy, just like we have for you. Now, look, before we let you go here, in addition to being an author and a professor, a journeyman in the wrestling ring, you're also a wrestling historian.
A little bit. It was something that, because of being a historian or liking history, not knowing I was going to end up where I was going to end up, but I always paid attention to the past because I don't care what you're doing if you don't know how everybody else got there, how can you do what you're supposed to do?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Listen, there's always myths in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
What's a good myth that people always talk about and think they know the story, and then what's the real story behind it there?
Oh, man, I don't know. There's so many that you hear versions.
I know you got one at least. I know you got one.
The only one I can think of off the top of my head would be having to do with Sputnick. Sputnick Monroe.
Who was Sputnick Monroe?
He was the greatest. He would tell you he was the diamond ring and Cadillac man, the greatest worker that ever lived. And he wasn't far from the truth. Sputnick was one of the best ever.
And Sputnick Monroe was black, right?
No, he was white man, but he fought for all the blacks.
That's right. That's right.
He actually went into Memphis when it was still, it still had to be Welch and Goulas, and told them if they didn't start desegregating Memphis, he wasn't going to go.
Wow.
He wasn't gonna show up. Yeah. He actually got arrested in the black bars in the days that you could be arrested being a white man because you were agitating or you were disturbing the peace. That's what it was called.
So he was a real trailblazer. But, yeah, please.
He was very much so. He was one of the first white men to tag with a black man in the South. May not have been the first, but he was one of the first.
Wow.
Yeah, very much so. But he was also, he just didn't care. And Cornette tells the one story, but he never finishes it. And where he was going to knock out the big TV star back in 60, 61, somewhere in there. I want to say it was Gene Barry Masterson.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
Okay. I want to say that's who it is, but it's been so long since Sputnick told the story and other people have confirmed it that I may have that part wrong. But it was a big-time TV Western star like that. And he's at the rodeo there in Memphis, and Welch or Goulas one come up with a bright idea that if Sputnick goes up and knocks him out while he's doing the Grand Marshal opening and all that stuff, that the box office will be gold for the next couple of months, right? So Sputnick goes, and he's got somebody with him. I forget who it was now. But anyway, they get there, and there's more security around this guy than there is the president, according to Sputnick. So he can't get to him. So Sputnick's getting drunk, and he's thinking about it, and he says, well, I was going to get however many, hundreds. I was going to get bonus, plus I was going to get this big run if I knocked the guy out. Jesus, well, if I knock out one of these big cowboy guys, that's got to be worth something. So he talks his buddy into covering his back, and he starts going through the barns and the stalls and the prep areas for the rodeo, and he finds a guy that's got, like, Sputnick says, the biggest belt buckle out there, so I know he's got to be some kind of champion. And he goes up and he starts to pick a fight with the guy. And the guy knows who Sputnick is. And Sputnick says, he keeps saying, oh, Mr. Sputnick Monroe, I'm not going to fight you. And Sputnick is, according to Sputnick, and Cornette tells the same story. A couple of people told me the same story too. Sputnick starts insulting his wife. No, Mr. Monroe, I'm not going to fight you. He insults the guy's kids. He's not going to fight him. I'm not going to do it. Sputnick's like, I can't really just throw the first punch on this guy. The big TV star is another thing, but this, I can't. Anyway, so he thinks, well, if I knock the guy's horse out, that's got to be worth a few dollars.
What?
So he goes to hit the horse, and he said the next thing he knew, he woke up, and he was face down in the hay and the horse shit. He had gone to hit the cowboy's horse, and the cowboy knocked him out. Wouldn't fight over his wife, his children, but he was going to hurt his horse. He knocked him flat out.
Oh, my goodness.
So they go back. It's not done.
Oh.
They go back to the office, and Welch or Fuller or whichever one was setting it up. Well, they're the same family, but Goulas, whoever was setting it up, tells him, Sputnick, we can't have this. So what they're going to do is they're going to go out to the trailer where the rodeo's still going on. And they're going to try to talk this cowboy into showing up at Ellis Auditorium or wherever it was they were running the shows in those days, and challenge Sputnick after the big brawl in the barnyards, right? He could not convince that cowboy to show up for anything because the cowboy knew that something was not right. So, but that's the way it ended.
Wow.
With Sputnick getting nothing out of it.
Unbelievable. And that's like the kiss of death. A pro wrestler, especially back in those days, was the toughest man.
Oh, yeah. You
couldn't get knocked out in front of people, and if you did, you usually got fired from the territory.
which is pretty much what happened.
Wow. Wow. And Sputnick Monroe, because I've heard Jim Cornette tell some stories. He set the attendance record in Memphis, didn't he?
He had it for years.
Yep.
Until they went to the bigger buildings, yes.
Yeah, people would spend money blindly to see Sputnick Monroe wrestle. So that's...
He was the first big draw, and then after Sputnik, it was Fargo.
Yep.
And then Lawler, yeah.
Wow.
That's your lineage in Memphis.
That's a great historic story. Listen, Dusty, tell fans how they can reach your page on Amazon.com if they want to purchase any of your books and writings.
Amazon.com, as far as I know, all you have to do is just type in my name.
Which is?
Dusty Wolfe.
And spell that for everybody. Make sure they get the spelling correctly.
Dusty, just like it sounds. Then Wolfe, W-O-L-F-E. And as far as I know, all you have to do is type that into Amazon, and it's at the top of the page.
That's right. That's right. And if folks want to reach out to you personally and just shoot you a message or ask you a question about anything, how can they reach you on the internet there?
I've got the Facebook at the same at my name, and then there's Twitter that the wife handles that, Rancho Wolf.
Now listen. Now, why does your wife handle your Twitter now? What's going on here?
I don't know how to use that. I can turn it on, and I can look at a feed, but if I was to try to actually do anything, if I was to actually try to twit anything or twist anything or what, I wouldn't get anything done.
Now listen, I heard
probably break the internet.
I heard word on the street there from a reliable source, and it may be the person that we're speaking about. They told me that anytime any of the young ladies try to send you a message or anything like that, she challenges them to a match.
She doesn't challenge them, man. She just doesn't kill them. She makes sure they know that she studies forensic files and that she's going to law school. So between the fact that she could hide the bodies and remove the evidence, if that didn't work, she'd get herself off. She doesn't mince any words about it.
No, she's pretty straightforward about it, bro. That's the truth. Wow. Listen, Dusty Wolfe, as always, we appreciate your wit and your great stories. I mean, you truly, you're a treasure to the business, brother.
Well, I appreciate that.
Best of luck to you and the family. We'll definitely have you on again at some point there. But thank you, Dusty.
All right, I appreciate it.
Up next, the Boston Bad Boy has more of your listener-submitted questions, a.k.a. Ask Duke. But before we get to any of that, I have to remind you to head over to Barnyard Cheese. That's right. Barnyard Cheese over at 149 Avenue C between 9th and 10th Streets in New York City.
I dream of the day when we're a real big deal, this podcast, and we're like one of those ones where they have the food delivered during the show.
Can you imagine?
Howard Stern, they always have look, lunch is here.
Big platters.
So it's a big platters.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm waiting for that day.
Listen, Dave over at Barnyard Cheese. Hey, listen, man, get on it.
Some sort of a platter, maybe some rolled up meats and cheeses.
Double D Dave Davis, we're calling you out at Barnyard Cheese, my man.
What do you get, though, this
Bring
week?
the platters. All right, well, last time we talked about the Triple Decker Turkey Club.
Right.
All right.
Very timely for the season.
Exactly. Well, we're recovering from something so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take us back to the salads, Jack.
All right.
And what better salad to indulge in than the Triple A salad?
All right.
Check out these ingredients. Fresh arugula, buttery, delicious avocados. That's 2 A's. But we got to give you the triple A there, crunchy almonds.
Oh, I see.
Right?
A little texture change
That's
up there.
right. That's right. That's all topped with a lemon and extra virgin olive oil dressing. And listen, we're going to keep it healthy here.
All
okay?
right.
So you wash it all down with the refreshing hibiscus iced tea.
Ooh.
You got to do that.
That's a little something different.
Oh, my goodness. And it, it has that little earthy, strong flavor to
just
it.
a real natural flavor.
Really wakes you up.
Yeah, gets you going.
Absolutely. So look, stop depriving yourself of deliciousness. Visit barnyardcheese.com for more info. Enjoy.
This is the pastor of wrestling, Kevin West, and I'm listening to Duke Love Rasslin.
How about that Dusty Wolfe there, Boston Bad Boy?
Oh, man. I got to tell you. Good stories.
Oh, it's funny, too, because the first time we interviewed him, it was more of a serious, straight interview. But you don't realize how funny this guy is.
No, he is funny, and it's I spaced out about halfway through because he started telling that story about George Jones, and now I have He stopped loving her today.
You gotta be
in my
kidding me right now.
in my mind.
Are you singing?
You know,
I mean, come on.
I have a very good voice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, pal.
All right, we'll have a sing off.
Don't quit your day or your night job. All right.
All right.
My goodness.
Wise guy.
Yeah. So what do we have today for Ask Duke?
Well, I'm looking through. I got some issues, that I came upon this week in my researches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and but we'll get to that. I like to let the people have their voice.
Of course.
Heard.
Yeah, 'cause, sometimes you hijack this thing. We got to get some questions in this week. Don't play your games.
Well,
with me
actually,
today, pal.
before
All right.
before we get to questions, because I'm looking at some of the names here, and before we get to questions, we decided that to spice up this show and to make, just for our own personal enjoyment,
Of course.
to add a pseudo segment called the Ric Flair Story of the Week.
Oh yes. The Ric Flair story of the week.
So we don't have any cool intro for it or anything. We
Yep.
just have us saying woo.
Yes.
But I know you have a whole pocket full of Ric Flair.
Absolutely.
And I enjoy listening to these because I am not a Ric Flair aficionado the way you are. Mm-hmm. I enjoy having an enthusiast, give me the rundown on the real Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, look, first and foremost, I got to give a special shout out to Tessa Blanchard.
Uh-huh.
She appeared, she made a cameo appearance on Raw last week as a beautiful lady in the red dress, during that Cesaro and Sheamus bar segment. So, Tessa Blanchard.
Are you going to start singing Lady in Red by the great Krista Berg now?
I could.
Stop shouting out and tell the Ric Flair story.
All right. Well, look. The reason why I'm giving her a shout out is because this story involves her dad, the legendary, the Hall of Famer, the Four Horsemen member, Tully Blanchard. Okay. Which ironically, Tully's father is the one who trained Rudy Boy Gonzalez.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It's just funny how a small world is.
I'm telling you. All right. So, Tully was a part of the legendary group, the Four Horsemen.
Right.
Which also had Arn Anderson, Barry Windham, J.J. Dillon as their manager, and, of course, Ric Flair. He was the leader.
Well, we can listen to some audio of Sting getting bitch slapped by Rick.
Absolutely.
And telling him to not only get out of the group, but just stop existing. Don't even, just get out of my life.
Get out of this business.
And get out of my life.
Rip up that contract,
That's right.
Get out of my life. Remember, we did that before.
So, there you go. So we're on that same vein.
Absolutely. So, of course, Tully, he liked hanging out after the matches and raising hell with Flair.
Sure.
Right? And both guys lived near each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So both guys are married at this time.
All right.
This is like the say, 86, 87.
Yeah.
Right around that time. So these guys are running wild. Running wild. They're painting the town red, white, and blue, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Flair is notorious for, as he says, not taking any mess from the wives.
Boy.
Well, look, if you're a friend of Ric Flair,
Yeah.
you'll be lucky if you remain married because he's probably going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
All right. So look, after working all over the world and being on the road for like a couple of months straight, Tully gets home, and his lady's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes home, he takes a shower, he freshens up, all that good stuff there.
Gets the luggage in.
Yeah, gets the luggage in.
Says hello.
So you think he's settling in because he's been gone for so long.
And this is pre-internet. This is
Exactly.
back. This is just like maybe I had a phone call or two.
Yeah.
I'm home. Honey, I'm home.
Honey, I'm home. Well, Tully's not even home for a couple of hours. Flair pulls up, honks the horn outside, right?
Doesn't even come to the door.
Doesn't even come to the door. He's out in the garage.
And
there.
Rick's driving like this big caddy.
Absolutely.
Probably with horns on the hood or
Absolutely.
something. Yeah.
And he's dressed to the nines because he's custom made.
That's
right?
White leather interior.
Yeah. So Tully splashes on the aftershave and all that good stuff there, and he starts heading for the door. So his lady goes, well, where do you think you're going? so Tully goes, oh, Rick's here, and we're going out. So she starts following him as he's walking out the door. She goes, oh, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't like you hanging out with him. It's either him or me.
Wow,
right?
she gave him the him or me.
Yeah. So they're outside at this point, and Rick is standing right there.
In the front yard.
In the front yard. Literally watching this go down. It's like a scene from Casino or something, right? No, excuse
Karen.
me.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
I'm still going out, Karen.
Yeah.
Come on, Henry. Come on, Henry.
What did you do? So she goes, I don't like you hanging out with him. So Flair goes, what does that mean?
Right. And suddenly he's all hurt. He's the one. He's the victim.
Ric Flair, of all people.
What do you mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, like, he doesn't know who he is, right? So Flair is ridiculous, man. So, all right.
So she says, it's me or Ric Flair.
It's me or Ric Flair. So Tully looks at the lady.
Yeah.
And this is his wife.
Yeah.
He looks at Flair. So then he goes, what do you want me to do here? And she goes, if you leave with him, I'm getting a divorce. He goes, well, then I guess we're getting a divorce. Jumps in the car with Flair. They drive off.
And drive off. Going
That's it.
God knows where.
That's it. I mean, hey.
Into the sunset.
He chose Ric Flair and all the hot women over his wife.
You know, I got to tell you, you're making a deal. It's like at the crossroads.
You're at the crossroads, man. Are you going to choose Flair and the hot women, or are you going to stay at home?
Right. And I have a feeling that Ric Flair loves being the guy at the crossroads.
Oh my God. It's just, hey folks, that's Ric Flair for you. I mean, hey, in his own words, what would he say in that situation?
The bottom line is right over there in that squared circle. This college dropout, this guy that ran with every woman that would have him from the time he was 15 years old, is the best wrestler in the world today. And we're talking about the major league of professional sports.
All right, we're talking the major league.
The major league. Listen, he ran with beautiful women from the time he was 15 years old. Okay?
Yeah. He really lived it.
He did, man.
Yeah.
He
and
did.
I don't think you get such an authentic promo if you're not at least 80% living
Dude,
it.
and what is he on? Like his fifth wife or something like that? It's just like the guy is just, he's a
Well,
legend.
you got to think that if you're, is a woman going to say, I'm going to be the woman that changes Ric Flair? I mean, they know.
Well,
going in.
But you still give it a shot.
Because you like the party, though.
They still gave it a shot.
Yeah, but they like the party.
They like the party.
Until they don't like the party.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody goes in. Listen, I don't think you're ever going to not go in wide open with Ric Flair. You know what you're getting.
Well, he's telling you every day of his life.
And no uncertain
moment, he's still telling
That's right.
you.
You never have to guess what he's on about.
No, you know exactly what's going on with Ric Flair because he's the kiss-stealing, wheeling-dealing, limousine riding, jet-flying son of a gun.
All right, so.
Yeah, now that we gotten that out of the way.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Shout out to Conrad Thompson. What's up, fellas? What's up?
I got to say, they really do. It's nice to live vicariously.
Oh, my God.
Through a couple of crazy
We're going to do this every week, folks. We got to tell a Ric Flair story.
And trust me, we'll never be short on stories.
No.
Because he's still doing it.
He's making them every day.
It's a new day.
That's right.
All right, so let's see questions. All right, this first question here comes from BB, which is the least weird of names of people you send me.
Well, that's
like letters 2 B's, BB.
That's Beatrice.
Beatrice. Oh, that's a nice normal name.
Well, she's part of the Duke's Rasslin crew. Yep. You know what? I got a bone to pick with her, actually.
Uh-oh. What, you're the first person with a nice normal name, Beatrice?
No.
And now you're gonna get her mad, and then she's not gonna ask questions anymore and participate?
Here's my problem with Beatrice. She's part of Duke's Rasslin crew, which it's a group where folks post about wrestling, what have you. It's on Facebook there, folks. Duke's Rasslin crew.
Yeah.
I will make a post. Mm-hmm. It'll be like Monday Night Raw.
Sure.
As the show is going on, people chime in and talk about and give their opinion on what's going on. We have a good time.
In real time.
In real time.
Yeah.
In real time. It's really cool. So the whole point of me making the post is if anything you have to say about the show, you put it under that thread.
So you can find it.
Yes. So you can find it and everybody else can interact with you. And it's just one central location. Beatrice, she'll make her own post. I mean, just completely break the rules, mind you. Just makes her own post like, hey, I'm going to fight City Hall, and I'm going to bring everybody over to my post.
I feel like I think it's hilarious that you think anyone gives a shit about your system and the rules you have arbitrarily made.
This is your fault.
For no, you know what?
This is your fault.
She has a cause. The cause is she can post whatever she wants.
She's a rebel. She's a rebel without a cause.
Yeah.
All right.
Now she's got a cause now.
Oh,
Iron Mike Pelosi backs it up.
No.
Okay.
Listen, BB, Beatrice, whatever.
I bet her posts are more interesting than yours.
Follow the rules.
What rules?
Okay.
You made it all up.
There are no rules.
You invented it. Rules.
She's out of her mind, though. Seriously, I don't understand what's wrong with her there, but she better stop it.
That's good.
Okay?
Let's insult some.
When I make a post,
let's insult the.
When I make a post,
oh boy,
all right, you put it under, and you know what I do? I tag her with her name in the post.
Yeah.
I say, hey, over here, Beatrice. And she always says, what? I said, you know what? Over here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Guess what? She doesn't have to answer to you.
Oh, clearly. You
Yeah,
know,
obviously.
like-
And you know what? Less and less people are going to start answering to you.
Oh, great.
Starting with me. Starting
Yeah.
with me.
Well, you never
I'm
answer,
done.
You never listen to me anyway. So
All right. So she asks,
Yeah.
Beatrice, Lady Beatrice, asks, what do you think of the angle between Rusev and Enzo? I'm not liking it. That's what she says. I'm not liking it.
Huh. That's a good question.
Maybe she should post it somewhere else, give you some time to think about an answer. Come on.
Well, look, here's the thing about Rusev and Enzo. The idea is to use Enzo as a means to for Rusev to beat up on him, and then Big Cass is going to get the revenge for Enzo. So that's all that is there. I know folks are disappointed because Enzo comes out looking the weakest in that situation because Rusev is a monster. But they're trying to get Big Cass over, and they're going to use Enzo to do it because Big Cass is going to protect Enzo and kind of save him, I guess. I don't know what the hell, whatever there. But that's the idea.
Wow. That was compelling content, as always.
Yeah, so Beatrice...
You said she has a great question, and you really gave her a half-hearted answer.
That was an honest answer.
All right.
You know what they did on Raw with Enzo?
What?
So they used Lana to entice him to meet her at the hotel. And Enzo has this big thing where he's going to go meet her at the hotel, and he's dancing and he's getting he's getting ready.
Yep.
Gets into the room with her, right? And she's wearing this outfit. Okay, here we go. Enzo takes off his shirt and he's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yep,
Hey,
yep.
oh.
Then he turns around.
And?
Rusev proceeds to beat the heaven little mess out of him. I mean, Machka City crushes him. Okay?
The old 1-2.
The old one, too.
Switcheroo.
And you know who did that before?
Who?
Ric Flair. But he was on the receiving end. This is back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So this is a thing that's been going on.
Oh, yeah. You don't fall for that one.
You don't fall for that one.
I don't fall for that one in real life.
Yeah.
Even if my girlfriend tells me, meet me at a hotel, I don't know who's jumping out from
something's
behind
up.
her. Yeah.
Something's up. Yeah.
There's no, and it's not sex.
Because she's never nice to you. So what's going on here?
Yeah, well,
you know what
she
I mean?
knows better than to be nice to me.
Exactly. She might say, meet me at the ball field. I, hit you over the head with a baseball bat, but she's not going to tell you to meet you at the
Listen, you
hotel.
only can hope that your real friends stab you in the front.
That's the way it goes.
All right, the next question comes from someone else with a real name. This is amazing. I almost feel like I'm reading the wrong list of questions because usually I have to sit through 20 minutes of explaining to you why Bozo Weirdo 22 is not a good name for someone to be sending us.
Baby Wheat Bread, what's up? Do your homework. Do your homework, Baby Wheat Bread.
Leave that girl alone.
Nice.
So this question comes from Randall Williams.
Okay.
And Randall would like to know what is up with Alexa Bliss now being the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Listen, I've been telling you guys for how long to watch out for Alexa Bliss. I've been telling you that she is fantastic, that she was going to make a big impersonation, a big splash on the scene. She's only been on the main roster since being called up from NXT for 3-4 months? I think she started in July, and look at that. She beat that no good Becky Lynch, who really just, Becky Lynch is up and down. I mean, 1 minute she's doing okay, the next minute she's falling apart. But Alexa Bliss showed her 5 feet of fury, and she just destroyed her. I mean, that's it. She wrestled her in a tables match at the TLC pay-per-view. She put Becky Lynch through a table, won the championship. And look, man, I'm so proud of you, Alexa Bliss. I hope you continue to beat the living daylight out of that no-good Becky Lynch and anybody else that stands in your way. And I'm going to call somebody else out one more time. Nia Jax.
Oh, boy.
You see what happened there?
You know what? Stop.
Huh?
Stop.
5 feet of fury won the championship before you.
Stop.
What are you doing?
We're putting a moratorium on
What are
this.
you doing, Nia Jax? Lavelle Porter's probably going to kill me because he loves Nia Jax.
Well, you also just have spent now like 14 minutes shouting at women on this podcast.
Well, because Nia Jax is related to that no-good Roman Reigns. So I gotta, it's because I don't like him, and I gotta.
But what is this? The Mason Dixon line here? You're related to the Hatfields and
McCoys. Yeah, that's it. We're calling.
You're gonna blame her?
I'm blaming her for Roman Reigns. Roman, you know how I feel about you.
Oh boy! All right.
What else
let's get to the real issue tonight.
Oh my Buddha!
Because not a question so much as This is always just questioning your blind loyalty to this company.
Look! Before you
You're
start,
a company man.
Before you start, just remember, The Trump administration completely supports the McMahons. So be careful.
You know, I don't think that I think it's the other way around, and I don't think they have a chance
Oh,
because
boy.
the money goes around, comes around.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Okay.
So there have been a lot of instances lately of WWE superstars, especially the women, having to defend themselves in a very public manner. Twitter, Facebook, whatever, mostly Twitter. Most of the Twitter wars. You know, this is sort of the World War III that no one predicted.
I don't like where this is going.
So everyone from Eva Marie, Paige, and now Naomi have gone to Twitter to essentially call out the WWE for suspensions and just slights. They're getting the shaft on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And the ladies, to their credit, are calling out the company. Now, do you think, and I think I know the answer to this, but I want to hear you say it, do you think that these wrestlers, again, mostly the female wrestlers, are justified going off the reservation onto social media and calling out the company for their wrongdoings?
Look, listen.
And many transgressions.
Listen, it's never a good idea to take to social media and trash your employer.
I trash you on social media.
Well, that's the problem, and you know, and we see where that gets you.
Yeah, that's right. I'm running the show here.
Yeah, right. Running his own sock drawer. That's about it. But look, seriously though, it's a little unprofessional. Now, look, I understand that some of these ladies have some gripes, and you know, but you got to take care of that stuff in the back. You don't need to bring that out publicly and try to shame the company or do whatever the heck. I don't know what was going on in Naomi's head. With what she was talking about recently. There was a mistake with a photo.
It's a mistake?
Yeah, well,
some of these ladies have some minor gripes. Let's explain what happened. Because you know, I want you to explain what happened and then fall on the sword for these people, because that's what I'm going to make you do. Go ahead.
All right. So Naomi's on Total Divas.
Right.
Which is a very popular show.
We understand that. Yeah.
Very popular show. All right. Total Divas is up for a award.
Right.
Okay? They've been nominated for the Best Reality Series at the Women's Image Award.
Okay.
Which is huge.
Is it really?
It's a big deal.
It sounds like one of those it's like the Cable Ace Awards.
Well, it's a big deal because it's women empowerment.
Well, it's also big, right, because now there are women in wrestling.
Exactly.
So for the women who are in wrestling, especially, again, not for you and I because we're Neanderthals.
Yeah.
This is a significant it's a significant step in the sport.
It's a major feather in the cap.
Continue now, because it's going to get even better when you have to eat crow. Go ahead.
Here's what happened. It was a mistake. Let me start by that.
Just the facts. Just the facts, ma'am.
WWE tweeted out a picture.
Yep.
And they put it on SmackDown.
Yep.
Where they congratulated the women of Total Divas for their nomination. And in the photo,
it's a group shot of all the divas.
It's a group shot. In the photo, Naomi's missing.
Interesting.
But somebody who's not on the show anymore, as any kind of main character, I don't think she was going to be on the show, period. Mm-hmm. Alicia Fox.
Yeah. Is in the picture.
Okay.
And wait.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right.
So they send the picture out. It goes
everywhere.
And there is a response by those who were slighted.
Okay.
And the response is, I have it here.
Oh, no.
I have it here. So not only did Naomi tweet, quote, the hell if I know, but I'm not about over all the BS. I'm giving my all, and I have since day one. In other words, she's given it everything. They can't even get the effing picture right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. And then she proceeds to share tweets from some of her fans who are also disgruntled. Here's a few examples. Basically, congrats to everyone, but at Naomi WWE, right? What kind of SHIT is this? She stays getting screwed over. The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. Now, this is going to go on to our further point, because they resubmitted the picture later on after the outcry.
Why are you going to bring this up?
And they photoshopped Naomi into, because that whole montage was photoshopped anyway. And some idiot kid who works for the WWE is doing their Photoshop work and could have put anybody, could put John Cena in there if you wanted to. What an oversight. So, at best, they are negligent. At worst, They mixed up one black woman with another.
Oh my God! Why do you always got to bring up this stuff here?
I'm not, because it's right. It's sitting right. I'm looking at the pictures right now.
Well, I mean,
and
but
anybody can look at them.
I know you're not trying to say that there was a racial element.
No,
to this.
I'm not. No, listen. They swapped one black woman for another black woman. So I'm saying it's moronic.
Okay.
I'm saying that it is again.
They made a mistake.
No.
Okay.
No.
They made a mistake.
No. This is not
Have
a mistake.
Have you ever made a mistake in your life?
You know why?
Called somebody the wrong name, or you did.
Do you know why it's more than a mistake? Because they swapped one black woman for another.
Oh,
it wasn't like they put a guy in there by accident, or there's like every woman in this thing, almost all of them are blondes. Well, we put one blonde. She was supposed to be on the left. It was supposed to be on the right. No, they had a montage they sent out that they thought was complete because somebody said, "Oh, that's Naomi."
The black girl's in there.
The black girl's in there. That's what they said. It's like, the black guy. Oh, the black girl is in there.
Yeah. See,
and I don't know why I need to be telling you this of all people.
Well, look, I don't think the company was being nefarious in any way and trying to do this.
Again, at best, they are grossly negligent and offensive.
Well,
because here's the thing: whether or not it was a mistake, it's a really shit mistake because it implies something that may or may not be true. And you, as a company, need to be aware of things like that.
Well, they don't even know their own employees.
Well, again, not only are they screwing over their own employees, then when it comes down for the employees who have done such a great job to getting an award, well, we just threw a picture together and that was the black chick we thought was in there.
Oh, man.
Because there's either some kid, but I can't believe that material that gets put out from a company as big as the WWE does not have more than one set of eyes on it.
Well, that's the biggest issue.
So is it a conspiracy?
Oh no!
To keep Naomi out of the photo.
He said it.
Or, which is ridiculous, or is it another step in ridiculous that they confused one of their black athletes for another? Tell me which. Pick the lesser of two evils. There, it's absolutely insane.
I'm WWE 100%.
Yeah,
all
you're
the way.
300%. It's sickening.
I will say this though, Naomi and Alicia Fox, they're two totally different characters. They're different people, but even their characters nowhere near the same.
No, don't even try and bog me down in that.
But I'm
going to say this is a very simple black and white issue. This is an issue.
No pun intended.
I'm talking about that from someone who's done graphic design, okay, who's done Photoshop. I'm not the best at it. I've done it. I would double check that. And I'm just some idiot.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is the amount of material they put out is huge. These are brands. These are these people's lives. This is.
Hey, if she doesn't like it, why doesn't she leave? How about that?
Okay. Do you want to apply that to any racial inequalities that happen?
No, but
okay.
So
it's like, if you don't like eating at this lunch counter, why don't you just leave?
All right, you're taking it too far.
No, but where do you when you start pulling that thread?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go with that conversation?
We don't want to go there.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
So why don't we just call it what it is? Gross negligence or an idiotic conspiracy. There's no way you're getting your buddies out of it this time. I'm sorry to say.
Listen, you know what? I might have to call President Trump about this because
and you know what? Not even, and Paige isn't even in the picture.
Well, that's another story altogether.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even care because this whole wellness violation BS, the fact that, and someone on Twitter actually called it out. Did they get it wrong? Did they miss? I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's a mistake.
They have grounds. I could see them saying they have grounds that she's not in it because she violated the wellness policy and blah blah blah. They mistaked one woman for another. None of these blonde ladies got mistaken for John Cena or another blonde lady, or Vince McMahon's wife wasn't accidentally photoshopped into this, and no one noticed.
Here's the worst part. Naomi's been part of the franchise since day one.
Yeah, exactly,
so
and she has a legitimate gripe.
She built the
So
franchise.
I think it's BS that anybody would think otherwise.
Well, I got to pull the plug because this guy is going to get me in trouble with Vince McMahon. I mean,
no,
we don't want any of that.
You know what he'll do? He'll just substitute you for another guy who's African American who isn't mad at him.
He went there. Thank you, Dusty Wolfe, for joining us again this week. I'm going to get out of here before this guy gets me in trouble with Vince and the president because I don't need these problems. Hey, look, Naomi's a nice girl.